So we are a population of approximately 245,000 residents, and a good number of our residents, specifically approximately 42%, speak a language other than English in their home, with the predominant language being Spanish. And so the city clerk's office was tasked to find a way of bridging the language gap, giving access to those that speak a language other than English to their local government. Meaning the city council and leadership of the city wanted to invite participation of government to all of our residents and not allow language to be a barrier. So then the search was on as to how we would accomplish that. Was that by hiring individuals to serve as translators, or what exactly it looked like? In the process of studying that, we came across Wordly, and Wordly was very intriguing in that, based on our initial research, it was an investment of I'll say a minor amount of money, and it didn't require very much equipment, and it provided access to multiple languages, not limiting us to a few languages. And so through that process, we began discussions with Wordly to see exactly what all they could do. And then kind of the rest is history from there, because we are very happy with the selection of Wordly. But that is how our journey began. And that was the challenge. Once we implemented Wordly, we began what is called a soft launch. And that was, we kind of used it internally only for, we used it for our meetings, not just city council meetings. We used it for, and continue to use it for all our boards, commissions, and committees. And we have approximately 14 boards, commissions, and committees. And we used it without really notifying the public that we had it, because we wanted to work out whatever kinks or problems that there were. And we really had, it was just really more of a communication thing, working with Wordly, so that we strengthened and our skill at using it and became more comfortable with using it. And as a result, we got past the initial processes, and developed more and more processes, so that, and trained staff, so that we had people with knowledge on how to use it, multiple people. And then we set up our hard launch, which was where we engaged the community, invited participation of the community to come in and to utilize Wordly and engage with the council members. And we invited Wordly representatives so that they can come and see the fruits of their effort, along with the efforts of our city to engage our community and invite their participation. And it was very telling in regard to how our public reacted. Our citizenry was very excited and tested the system throughout our launch, and engaged with the council members. It was thrilling to see how excited our community was, and which, of course, pleases our council and pleases us as well. So we here at the City of North Las Vegas have a dynamic communications team. And when we implemented Wordly, we engaged our community services and engagement team, and that's the group of individuals that work for the city, that their job is to have relationships with outside elected officials and activists within the community. So we engaged those activists, and we set out on, through our communications team, a bold and aggressive campaign to alert the public that we had a language translation systems, and that included YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, and/or Twitter, and so that we reached a broad cross section of people to let them know. And then at each of our board meetings, we gave a presentation to that particular board and to the individuals within the community that follow the board, that particular board, to alert them of the Wordly system. Through the implementation, we also have two very large screen TVs in the council chambers on either side that are always running and utilize both the English and Spanish component of Wordly. And those TVs are always going. No matter where you are in our chambers, you can follow the meeting in English and or Spanish with a 250 font on those two TV screens. We do have Wordly preset for 8 languages that are the most predominant languages within our community. So if at any time anyone comes in speaking one of those 8 languages, we do not have to reset or anything or change languages. It will automatically catch on to that language and begin to translate. We also have throughout council chambers and around our building QR codes out in the lobby area of the chambers as well as in the chambers, so that anyone coming in and wants to either test the system or utilize it for their native language, they can do so with easy and quick access. I've attended a couple of conferences specific to, respective trades. And some of the concern I had was expressed to me was that Wordly isn't geared to their specific trade. In other words, that there would be lingo or acronyms or things of that nature that wouldn't translate in wouldn't either translate or would it make sense in the translation. So that's one of the concerns that I've heard from people. And again, to piggyback onto what Tony said, that some people are under the understanding that it is difficult to use. Another thing that I've heard people have concern with that, and these are all people that don't have Wordly, they just are apprehensive as to what type of system to involve themselves with, is that it wouldn't translate accurately. And so what I've said was that Wordly does not release languages to be used unless it meets a high degree of translation accuracy. And that if if we come across a word that Wordly isn't translating or isn't translating accordingly, we just reach out to the company and they add it to their dictionary. I also have expressed that we have not come across that situation yet. We have been very, very pleased with both the accuracy and the speed at which Wordly translates. I mean, you can't get better than real time, where you are actually conversing with an individual with literally like a second delay, if that. And so, those are the things that we express to at least invite people to engage in a conversation with Wordly and just see how it can benefit their organization. And Wordly does not call in sick. Wordly is never tired, and it is always available to us in many and multiple languages. And I just have not found to date anything that could satisfy those very things that Wordly offers. I think you're going to see continued organizations getting AI translation. I think there is a very high need. I don't think that need will go away. And you'll start to see where it may start with one use within an organization and grow into others. Because I already have another need that's developing within my own office. Something, because currently we're using it, as I say, for our boards, commissions, and committees, and that's inclusive of city council. But soon, sometime later in the year, we will be opening a passport office, which will soon be under construction within our building. And in that passport office, I can foresee a need to utilize Wordly. Our court, which sits off of my left shoulder and across the street, it also has used for Wordly. Well, we cannot use it in the courtroom. That actually does require a certified translator. But at the windows where people are filing documents and things of that nature, that is another need. And not just in the city of North Las Vegas, but courts all across the country could have use for something, for Wordly. So I think you'll just continue to see the need grow, and the people will find other ways and means of using it.